Remind me what our two types of doers were.
So we had outside doers and embedded doers.
And what was an outside doer?
It was just a normal doer, when a doer is a normal noun.
Right, when the doer is a normal noun and then you see it coming after the action with a doer label on it. And what was an embedded doer?
Embedded doer is when the doer is embedded in the action, or the doer is a pronoun.
Right, when the doer is a pronoun, it appears embedded within the action. Why do you think we're bringing up doers now?
Because a substitute doer, like we saw before, acts like a doer.
Yeah, right. A substitute doer acts like a doer, right? So
sits in its seat and wears its labels.
Exactly, sits in its seat and it wears its labels, right? We called it the imposter doer, right? So as we study the substitute doer, you'll see a lot of parallels between substitute doer and normal doer, right? So the same way we saw an outside doer and embedded doers, we also have outside substitute doers and embedded substitute doers, right? So let's look at these two examples here. Amran was bullied. Help me label this up.
Was bullied is a passive action.
Yeah, that's our passive action.
And then Amran is the subdoer.
Yeah, it's a substitute doer because it's appearing at the beginning, sitting in the place of the doer. And what kind of substitute doer would this be? Outside or embedded?
Outside, because it's a normal noun.
Yeah, outside because it's a normal noun. It's not a pronoun, right? What about the sentence underneath it? He was bullied.
Was bullied is the passive action, and he is the substitute doer.
And what kind of substitute doer is it?
It would be, in Arabic, it would be embedded because it's a pronoun.
It's a pronoun, right? It's a pronoun. So you see how we have the same types of substitute doers, or the same way you have outside and embedded doers, you also have outside and embedded substitute doers. Okay, so in Arabic, how did we recognize an embedded doer?
The ending indicators, right?
Ending indicators. Remember that chart we learned?
Yeah.
Right, so the good news for you is that passive actions also have the same exact indicators. Right, so we're going to start with our past passive conjugation chart. And in the past tense, we would look at the ending indicators. Right? So look at this chart for me. This is our past passive chart, and I want you to observe the indicators. What do you see?
They're the same. Hum is u, hiya is at, inna is na. They're the same indicators that we learned with the active.
Exactly. Right, they're the same exact indicators as normal past tense actions. Right, so that's the good news. You don't have to learn a whole new set of indicators.
All right, that's a relief.
Okay. So the one thing that distinguishes normal past tense from passive past, I want you to look at these little highlighted bits here. What do you notice is the same across all of them?
U-E, 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 U-E.
Yeah, all of them have a U-E, 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 every single one of them. So you have a U on the very first letter, and then you have a E on the second to last letter.
Is it second to last? Like, for example, in Ju'ilu, there's the Waw, and then there's the Lam, and then there's the Ayn.
Good question.
That has the E.
So when we say second to last, we actually mean second to last of the original. Right, so remember with our actions, we have a base action, and then we have the indicator tacked on to the end. Right, so when we say second to last, we mean of the original word. So if you were to hide the indicator, the u, say, in hum, you're left with your base ja'ala. The lam is the last letter, which makes the ayn the second to last letter.
Oh, okay.
Right, so if we were to look at ju'iltum, for example, the tum is our ending indicator.
Okay.
And then you have the lam, second to last letter is the ayn.
Okay.
Right, so when you look for your second to last letter, make sure you're hiding your indicator.
Okay, second to last letter, not including indicator.
Yeah. So how do you recognize a past passive?
U on the first letter, E on the second to last letter?
Exactly, that's all there is to it. If you see a U on the first letter, a E on the second to last letter, it's passive.
Alright.
Okay, you ready to do some practice?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be looking at some actions, and you'll just tell me if they're passive or active. Active is the opposite of passive, so just a normal past tense.
Okay.
Okay, number 1, ukhrija.
Well, there's U on the first letter,
okay,
so that checks off. And then the Ra is the second to last, and it has an E.
Okay.
So, yes, it's passive.
That's passive, good. Anzala.
There's no U on the first letter, And the za.
So if you see that there's no u on the first letter, that's it. The first condition is not met. You don't even have to bother looking for the second condition.
Okay, so both conditions have to be met. So if one isn't met, then you don't have to bother. Okay.
Exactly. So as soon as you see that there's no u on the first letter, you know it's active.
All right.
Okay. خلقوا.
Okay, so there's u on the first letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then second to last letter qaf has a wow.
What's the second to last letter?
The qaf?
No, remember we have to hide our indicator. When we talk about second to last, we're talking about the original.
The indicator. Okay, so hiding the wow.
Mm-hmm.
The qaf is the last, so the li is the second to last, and yes, it has an e sound, so it's passive.
And we have the e, so it's passive. أرسلتم.
Okay, so we have a u on the first letter.
Okay.
And then hiding our tum because it's our indicator. The la is last, sa is second to last, and it has an e sound.
Okay.
So yes, it is passive.
Good. Okay, last one. كلمنا.
There's no u on the first letter.
Exactly.
So it's active.
Yeah, we're done. We don't even have to look at the second to last letter. Are we clear on recognizing?
Yeah.
So we're looking for the u on the first letter, e on the second to last letter. Okay, now let's talk about translating past passives. So here's a template you can use when translating past passive. You have something was somethinged. Basically, you have your substitute doer, the same way we start with our doer, right? With past passives, you'll start with your substitute doer. And then the way you translate a past passive is was actioned.
Okay.
Like, the lion was caged. You know, the cake was eaten. My brother was punched.
Okay.
Something like that. So start with your substitute doer, and then the way you translate your action is was actioned, was ed.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to do the same activity we just did with the added step of translating, right? So we'll start by telling me if it's passive or active, then we'll translate it. Okay, number 1, كذبتم.
Okay, so we have a u on the first letter.
Okay.
And then the tum is our indicator, so we're going to hide that.
Good.
Second to last letter is the, and it has a e sound, so this is passive.
Good, that's passive. And then how do we translate a passive? Start
Subdoer
with
was action.
Yeah, what's the subdoer here?
You all.
Good, you all. And we know the indicator, we already learned that. So start with the subdoer, you all. And then what?
Was, or I guess you all were. Denied. You all were denied.
Yeah, you see how this follows the template? Substitute doer was actioned. Okay, number 2, ursilu.
So we have a u on the first letter.
Okay.
And then the hiding the indicator,
which is
the wow. We have a kasra on the sa, which is the second to last letter, so this is passive.
And it's passive, and how are we going to translate it?
Subdoer was action.
What's the subdoer here?
They.
Good. We know from the indicator, so we'll start with our subdoer, they, and then?
Were, again, because was doesn't make sense.
Okay.
They were sent.
Sent, right? We don't say sended, right? So they were sent. Good. Number 3, اتبعت.
Okay. So there's no u on the first letter.
Okay.
So this is active.
Good. We can instantly say active, and we already know how to translate active. How do we translate?
She was followed.
No, this is active, right? This template that we looked at is for passives.
Oh, so
don't unlearn what we already learned, right? You know how to translate a normal action sentence. Just doer, action. That's it.
She followed.
Yeah, she followed.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4, جعلنا.
So we have a u on the first letter.
Okay.
And then hiding our ending indicator, which is the na. The ayn has a kasra, which is second to last, so this is passive.
So that's passive, and we start with our
subdoer,
which
was
is
action. We.
Okay, so
were.
We were
made.
Good. We were made. Okay. وجد or وجدت.
So we have a u on the first letter, right?
Yeah.
Even though the first letter is a wow.
It's okay.
Okay.
U can sit on any letters.
All right. So the 2 is our ending indicator, so we ignore that. Second to last letter is the G. which has an E sound.
Okay.
So it's passive.
And it's passive. And then we start with, when translating?
Subdoer was actions. So I was, I was found.
Good, I was found. Very good. Okay, last one. سألت.
So we don't have an U on the first letter. So this is active.
Yep.
And then سألت, she.
Yeah, normal doer action.
She asked.
She asked. Good. So recap of this lesson. We have two kinds of substitute doers, which are?
Embedded or outside subdoer and embedded subdoer.
And how do we recognize an outside subdoer? We saw this last lesson.
The same way we recognize a normal doer, it wears a doer label.
Wears a doer label. And how do we recognize a embedded substitute doer?
It has the same ending indicators as a normal past tense action.
Okay, but then how do we distinguish it from a past tense action, a normal one?
Because passive actions have a U on the first letter and an E on the second to last.
Okay, that's good. And then how do we translate passives?
Translating, subdoer was actioned.
Right, we start with our subdoer, same way we would start with our doer, and then the passive action translates as was actioned. All clear?
Yep.